Have you ever had that feeling where you look in the mirror and your skin just looks blah? Not necessarily wrinkly or broken out, just tired. It's lost its glow. Well, today we're going to get into what dull skin really is. And spoiler alert, it's way more than just a marketing buzzword. It's actually a biological signal your skin is trying to send you. And, the dermatologist, Dr. Dre, just nails it with this quote. It's that feeling, right? One day you wake up, look at your face, and it just doesn't seem as healthy or as glowy as it used to. So many of us have been there. And that right there is the key. We're always being told, oh, just buy this brightening cream. But that's just treating the symptom. What's really going on is that your skin's natural renewal process, think of it like this super efficient engine, is starting to sputter and misfire. So before we get into what's going wrong, it's super important to understand what's supposed to happen when things are going right. Let's take a look at the amazing way our skin keeps itself glowing. Okay, this image just shows it all, doesn't it? Look at the left side. That's what happens when old skin cells pile up. They create this rough, uneven surface that scatters light instead of reflecting it. That's the dull look. Now on the right, that's the goal. A smooth, even surface that reflects light beautifully. That's where the glow comes from. And this whole journey, it's happening 24/7, right now as you're listening to this. It's about a 4-week cycle. New cells are born deep down. They travel up to the surface, and then, this is the key part, they're supposed to just flake away without you even noticing. That constant, seamless turnover, that's the secret to radiant skin. But wait, how do those old cells actually fall off? Well, something's got to break them apart. And here's the little culprit, desmosomes. Just think of them as the cellular glue holding those old dead cells together on the surface. For your skin to shed properly, your own natural enzymes have to come in and basically dissolve that glue. Okay, so here's where that engine starts to sputter. As we get older, 2 things happen. First, that whole 4-week journey just slows down. And second, that cellular glue we just talked about, it actually gets stronger and stickier. What you end up with is a traffic jam of old cells on your face, creating that rough texture that just doesn't reflect light well. And that, my friends, is what we call dullness. So what's causing this whole system to slow down in the first place? Well, a huge part of it comes down to our daily habits. Let's talk about the saboteurs working from the inside. And yeah, this list probably isn't a huge shock to anyone, right? We all kind of know this stuff isn't great for us. But the thing is, every single one of these habits directly messes with that skin renewal engine we've been talking about. Let's kick things off with sleep. Think of it as your skin's dedicated repair shift. When you don't get enough good quality sleep, your skin's barrier gets weaker. This means it can't hold on to moisture as well, and you wake up looking dehydrated and, well, dull. All right, let's talk diet. And for this, we have to get into something called glycation. The end result is these nasty things called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. The simplest way to think about it is this. Excess sugar in your system latches onto important proteins, like the collagen that keeps your skin firm, and basically damages them. So when you eat a lot of sweets or refined carbs, you're essentially giving your body all the fuel it needs to create these AGEs. What happens then? Your collagen becomes stiff and brittle instead of bouncy and strong. It's like it's rusting from the inside out, and that definitely contributes to that lifeless look. And then there's smoking. The impact here is, honestly, it's shocking. We're not talking about a little bit of damage. We are talking about adding actual years of aging to your face. Yeah, you heard that right. A pack a day can literally make your skin look almost 10 years older. It's a triple whammy. It just torches your skin's antioxidant supply, it chokes off blood flow so nutrients can't get there, and it actively destroys your collagen. It's just bad news all around. But it's not just about what we put in our bodies. Our skin is our first line of defense, and it is under constant attack from the world around us. So let's talk about that environmental assault. The word pollution can feel a bit abstract, but this table breaks it down. We're talking about real stuff, like tiny particles from traffic, ozone, and other chemicals that are just floating around in the air, especially if you live in a city. And the scary part is, they don't just sit on your skin, they get in and do real damage. Okay, so we've all had the dangers of UV rays drilled into us, right? It's public enemy number 1 for skin aging. And then you've got pollution, which attacks by causing inflammation and damaging our skin on a cellular level. Each one is bad on its own, for sure. But here's where it gets really interesting.
They're partners in crime. They have this synergy, which means when they're combined, the damage they do is way, way worse than just adding up their individual effects. It is a total double whammy for your skin.
So let's recap. We've got our internal habits, and we've got these external attackers from the environment. They seem like totally different things, right? So how do they all end up causing the exact same problem? It's time to connect the dots. I mean, think about it. It's a great question. How can a bad night's sleep, a donut, and your morning commute all lead to dull skin? It feels random, but there has to be a common thread tying them all together. And you know what? There is. All of these things that seem so different, they all funnel down and attack your skin through one single primary pathway. And that common enemy is oxidative stress. That's the big one. It's basically a state of imbalance where your body is flooded with these damaging little molecules called free radicals, and you just don't have enough antioxidants to fight them off. And this right here, this is the whole story. All those things we've been talking about, the lifestyle choices, the environmental attacks, they all generate a massive amount of free radicals. That overload leads directly to oxidative stress and inflammation. And that state is what damages your collagen and burns through your skin's defenses. And the final result? That skin renewal engine we started with just can't keep up. It sputters, it slows, and what you see in the mirror is dull skin.
So, here's the big takeaway. Dull skin isn't just some surface-level cosmetic issue. It's so much more than that. The best way to think about it is like your body's check engine light turning on. It's an outward sign of an inward imbalance. So the real question isn't just how do I fix my dull skin? The real question is, what is my skin trying to tell me about my overall health?